Here we go. Cool. Excellent. So screens up. All right, we're ready to rock and roll. So today we're going to cover how to go from stuck to unstoppable. This is a training for business owners, for entrepreneurs, and for high achievers. If you're a high achiever, give me a one in the chat. Let's go. Okay, so what are we going to discuss? Well, today we're going to talk about how to unlock your potential and achieve consistent business growth without working longer hours or risking burnout. Okay. So, what is it that you're going to learn? Well, we're going to go ahead and break down how to break through mental barriers like fear, like overwhelm, self doubt, so you can confidently scale your business, make faster decisions, and achieve consistent growth without burning out or holding yourself back. That's what we're going to cover today. So, curious for you all, okay? When you think of the word stuck, what does being stuck mean to you? Let me know in the chat. How many of you have felt stuck before? How many of you are feeling a little stuck now? And what does being stuck mean to you? Take a moment, drop it in the chat. As you think about being stuck, how does that feel? Probably not that great, right? Irritating, absolutely irritating. Now, as you think about being stuck, right? How much has being stuck cost you in 2024? So last year, all of 2024, maybe even 2023, 2022, 2021, the last 5 years, right? If you had to put a number to it, how much has being stuck cost you? Stuck where you were irritated, where it felt stagnant for you, where you felt like you were burnt out, where you were frustrated. All these stuck states that you've had, how much has that cost you not being able to move forward? Because when you really think about that, that's the real price of being here for today's training, right? That's really the cost of what you've paid life to get to this point now of figuring out how do we actually get unstuck? And more importantly, how do we become unstoppable, right? So when you think of the word unstoppable, what does being unstoppable mean to you? As you think of the word unstoppable, what does being unstoppable mean to you? How does it make you feel? As you think of yourself as being someone who's unstoppable, how does it make you feel? As you see that person, what do you see? How do you look? Right? What sounds come up for you when you are unstoppable? What could you do when you are unstoppable? When nothing can hold you back? Free, empowered, freeing, in control? 1000%. Right? And so the question then becomes, how do you become unstoppable? How do you become unstoppable? That's the question. And it starts with rewiring your mind. It starts with rewiring your mind to unlock your potential and achieve consistent growth. That's really what this is all about. Okay. And as you've probably noticed, most mindset and self-development that's out there is very surface level. You've probably tried several different things in the past, right? And so as you think about a lot of the stuff that's out there, the self-improvement, the mindset stuff that's being shelled out, I want you to think about weeds growing in your garden, right? Let's say you have a garden. If you do, awesome. If you don't, cool. I don't garden, not good at it. My snake plant is dying. And most people say, like, you can't kill a snake plant. Well, I did it. Okay. and so I'm definitely not a gardener. However, I know that I have attempted to get rid of weeds before. Okay. And so most of the stuff that's out there right now is the equivalent of taking a pair of kid scissors and going to the garden of your mind and cutting the weeds where the stem meets the soil. What's going to happen if you do that? Well, the weeds are going to grow back. That's what's going to happen, right? And so what I'm going to share with you today is like going to the garden of your mind and really pulling the weeds out of the root, the deepest root, so it never comes back, right? It's really getting to the root cause of why you're feeling stuck and what that even looks like for you. Okay. Is that cool? Yeah, that makes sense. Perfect. So who is this for? Well, this is for entrepreneurs and small business owners who feel stuck despite working really, really hard. This is for business owners who are ready to overcome fear, imposter syndrome, and decision paralysis to unlock their next level of success. This is for those who are seeking clarity, confidence, and the momentum to grow their business without sacrificing their time, their health, or their peace of mind. And this is also people who understand that the internal mindset shifts are just as important as the strategies, and those who are ready to take control of their success. So the question is for you, are you ready to take control of your success? If you are, give me a big old yes in the chat so that I know you're ready, okay? Now, who is this not for? Who is this training not for? This training is not for people who are looking for quick hacks, overnight success, or shortcuts without doing the inner work. Now, what I will say though, is that the process that we're going to touch on today is actually probably the most rapid alignment shifting transformational process that you could ever find that's out there. Okay. However, it still requires you to be open to the inner work and continuing to take action and focus on what you want. Right. And so this is not for business owners and professionals who aren't open to self-reflection or believe that more strategies alone will fix everything, because you've already tried that and it's gotten you this far. So it might be time for something different, right? This is not for people who are unwilling to take responsibility for their own actions, their growth, and their mindset. And this is not for entrepreneurs who are satisfied with their current results and are not looking to scale or grow. If you've got the life already, if you're crushing it, good for you, right? You may not need this today, okay? And so what's going to happen when you stay till the end is you're going to discover the full 3-step process, our rapid alignment method that has helped entrepreneurs break free from fear, indecision, and overwhelm to create unstoppable growth. You're going to learn how to release limiting beliefs that are silently sabotaging your success without spending years in therapy or mindset coaching. You're also going to receive practical strategies to make faster, more confident decisions and regain control over your business and your life. And as a bonus, I'll also share some exclusive tools and resources designed to help you implement what you learn and accelerate your next breakthrough. Okay. At the end of this, I'm also going to introduce a very special opportunity that will give you the support and the clarity that you need to keep your momentum going long after today's training. Sound good? Cool. So my goal for this class for you is to show you that the only way to achieve consistent business growth and career growth without fear and burnout is by rewiring your mind and mastering the rapid alignment method. I'm also going to show you exactly how to break free from fear, from overwhelm and self-doubt so you can confidently scale your business. And I'm going to show you exactly how we help entrepreneurs and driven career professionals to unlock clarity, confidence, and momentum by removing the mental blocks that are holding them back. Now, for a moment here, I want you to just imagine waking up with crystal clear clarity on your next career and business steps. Imagine making confident decisions without overthinking and finally trusting yourself to succeed. No more fear of failure, no more 12-hour grind, just focus, freedom, and unstoppable growth. How good will it feel when you achieve that? The reality is you've probably tried some other things before, okay? For most of us, including myself, I tried hustling harder and that just made me feel more stuck and more tired. How many of you had tried to just push through and hustle harder, right? Chasing every new strategy and tactic, trying to find every shiny object that I could find and attempting to do what I could with it, really at the end of the day, realizing that I didn't follow through all the way and I was kind of just going spinning in circles, right? So I wouldn't ever get real results. Self-help books, courses, and even other trainings that are out there that didn't create lasting change. Those are just a few of the things that I've tried before that you may have tried as well. Okay. And so what I'm about to share with you isn't another hack or a quick fix. It's something completely different, a method that helps you break free from stress, from overwhelm, and self-doubt. And I call it the rapid alignment method. It's a 3-step process that's designed to help you release mental baggage, align your goals, and move forward with confidence. So why am I qualified to teach this? Well, I've been able to grow a multi-6-figure physical therapy practice in under 8 months. I built a multi-million-dollar online business, helping over 750 career professionals and entrepreneurs. I've invested over $300,000 in business and mindset coaching programs over the last 7 years. Actually, a lot more than I invested in even graduate school and becoming a doctor of physical therapy. And more importantly, I've learned through many, many failures. I've learned pushing through imposter syndrome, burnout, really a lot of the same challenges that you're facing now. I've been able to push through, experience what it's like to try and force myself to do the things right by hustling, grinding, and just kind of shoving everything, all my stuff that would come up down, and how exhausting that was. And I've learned a new way of doing it that's way easier, way more effortless, and a lot more fun. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and share that with you today. So for a moment here, I want to take you back to a time when I was in the same spot many of you might be in right now. I was a driven professional, driven entrepreneur, doing all the right things, working my butt off, following every strategy, and all the tactics that were out there. I literally was like, I just got to do the thing, right? I got to figure out the strategies, figure out the hacks, figure out the tactics. And if I do that, that's all I need to focus on. But after doing all of that, investing all that money, I still felt stuck. No matter how much I accomplished, I kept on running into the same problems of burnout, indecision, self-doubt, self-sabotage, right? I'd hit a major milestone, then I would freak out internally and drop back down to where I was before. And it was just this constant cycle, and it was exhausting. How many of you can relate to that? How many of you know that you've self-sabotaged in the past? How frustrating is that? It's so frustrating when you have a goal set for what you want, you go after it, and then for some reason, we just kind of throw a wrench in it and it brings us back down. It's exhausting and it's not fun, right? And so I worked endless hours chasing strategies, but not seeing the growth that I was looking for. At that point, my biggest goal was really to grow my business and create financial freedom. And I was dealing with so many endless tasks and responsibilities. Like I mentioned earlier, I thought if I just work harder, I'll finally break through. I'll finally break through. I'll finally break through. And what actually happened was the harder I worked, the more I felt like I was spinning my wheels. How many of you have felt like that before? Where you're working your butt off, you're working hard, and then the harder you work, the more you feel like you're spinning your wheels. And so in my head, in my mind, I was like, this is harder, right? I constantly questioned myself, and I thought to myself, am I actually good enough? Am I actually meant to do more than what I'm doing now? Am I capable of doing it? Right? Was I capable of leading my business and my team to success? I worried that I wasn't doing enough. And every single decision became paralyzing because I didn't trust myself. I wasn't confident in myself. I felt like I was getting caught in a cycle of overwhelm and self-sabotage. And so eventually I hit a wall, right? I realized that no strategy or external tactic was going to fix the deeper problem. I had built a business, and in doing so, we hit really great milestones, and I had lost clarity on why I was doing it in the first place. I had a midlife crisis at age 32, 33, right? And so the stress, the fear, and the doubts were really chipping away at my progress. and I knew I had to address something else, right? I felt like there was something going on beneath the surface that I hadn't quite put my finger on. And that's when I realized, okay, I really need to pay attention to something here. It's kind of like the fuel indicator in your car, right? For those of you that have gas vehicles, it's like that fuel indicator in your car that's telling you you're running low, you're running, almost on empty. And if you don't take, if you look at the symptoms, that indicator, and you don't do something about it, what eventually happens? The car dies, right? And I'm not saying you're going to die, right? Although we all technically are. But what I'm saying is that we need to, when that indicator goes on, we have to pay attention to it, and we've got to do something about it. You've got to take action. You've got to do something about it. You've got to make a pit stop, fuel your tank back up before you continue to move forward. And so that's when I had that breakthrough. I realized that success wasn't about working harder or adding more to my plate. I really needed to look inside and see, okay, what's going on in here, right? What's going on in my heart? What's going on in my head? What is it that I am missing? And it was really about realignment, right? I had to release the hidden mental blocks holding me back. I had to rewire my mindset and what I actually valued in my life. I had to rewire my mindset for clarity, for balance, and growth. And that's when I first discovered the rapid alignment method. Okay. So what is the rapid alignment method? Well, it's really 3 steps. Okay. It's release, align, and move. Release is letting go of limiting beliefs and emotional baggage that is holding you back without you even realizing it. Align is getting very clear on your true values and aligning your business goals with those values. Okay. And then move. You've got to move. You've got to take action. Okay. This is where you plant a vivid, achievable future goal into your unconscious mind so you can take consistent action with confidence. Okay. This method has become my secret weapon to break free from the cycle of self-doubt and overwhelm. Got a newfound sense of clarity, confidence, and congruency in who I am. And that's why I'm here excited to speak with you today. When you follow this 3-step process, you become unstoppable. How many of you would like to become unstoppable? Put unstoppable in the chat. Unstoppable. The result is I began achieving more in less time. Okay, my business grew and I finally experienced the balance and the clarity that I was looking for. And really, I had been chasing this feeling for so many years. I didn't feel stuck anymore. I finally felt like I could scale my business with clarity and confidence, knowing exactly where I'm going, knowing exactly what it is that I'm meant to be doing here. And the cool thing is, my biggest transformation wasn't just in the business, it was in me, right? I no longer felt controlled by fear or indecision. I learned how to trust myself to make confident decisions and really create a business and life that worked for me and not the other way around. How many of you are ready to create a business and life that works for your life, right? For you, and not feel like you're always constantly working for the business? This is the transformation that I want for you as well. Okay. And it's not just me. Here are a couple of examples of people that got results too that we've helped. We've got Paul here, who said, I've been carrying a heavy negative burden thrust upon me for decades. Javier has a gift to explain how this happens, but most importantly, how to get rid of the things that do not serve you today or in the future, right? How to get rid of the baggage and move forward full throttle in your life. Andrew Tran here, one of my good friends that I've worked with. I've worked on a lot of personal development, mindset, and got in therapy over the last decade and have changed my life so much. With that being said, there are certain things that none of the above has been able to help me that holds me back and rooted into experiences I didn't realize. My first session with Javi has drastically uncovered things I didn't realize in my subconscious that I started to clear and let go of. I had started to make changes in life almost immediately and was pleasantly surprised. He rewired me to get rid of multiple bad habits that I fall into, which is rarely. And so multiple bad habits. I now have the tools equipped to get through it and bounce back quickly. There's been a big shift in my energy in the past few sessions with him. Highly recommend it. Okay. So these tools can be very, very impactful very, very quickly. And next up here, we have Rudy. So Rudy went from feeling like he was going to get thrown off an island at any moment to having a deep sense of confidence and belief in himself that he has never felt before. Each emotion that he released was like a weight lifted off his shoulders. And in an instant, the resistance that he'd felt for so long was completely gone. It's no longer like climbing Mount Everest. Every step feels achievable now with confidence held deep inside and the knowledge that I can handle anything. How many of you would like to have a deep confidence inside of yourself, knowing that anything that comes your way, you can handle it? You can break right through it. Yes? After 7 years and $300,000 invested, I discovered the hard way. Okay. It took me quite a while to get here. And because you're here today, guess what? You get the easy way, quite literally. So what is it that we're going to cover today? And how many of you would like the easy way? Go ahead and put easy in the chat if you would like the easy way. Yes. So what we're going to cover to help you uncover the easy way is this. Number one, the first discovery is that it's not the mechanics, it's your mind. Okay. I'm going to break down how to unlock business growth without wasting time on more strategies and more tactics. Discovery number two is the power of your unconscious mind. I'm going to show you how to achieve consistent success without relying on willpower alone. And discovery number three, we're going to cover the effect of unresolved emotions, how to fast track your progress without being weighed down by unresolved emotions. You guys ready? Okay. Discovery number one, it's not the mechanics. It's not the mechanics. Now, some of you might be thinking this is just another mindset or personal development method. I need tactical business strategies to grow. How many of you have either thought that currently or thought that in the past? I 100% did. I was like, mindset, who needs that mindset stuff? Just freaking do the work, right? Just do the work. And if just doing the work was all that mattered, all of us here would have the success that we're looking for. And so I remember when I was I was stuck in a plateau in my business. I was overwhelmed trying to every new tactic I could find, the funnels, the ads, the marketing strategies, but nothing seemed to work. And I kept telling myself, if I just work harder, if I just implement more strategies, I'm going to break through. But instead, like I mentioned, I was exhausted, constantly spinning my wheels with no real progress. Whenever I heard someone talk about mindset, I'd roll my eyes and I thought mindset work. Like, yeah, sure. Like I'm already there. I'm good. I just need to do the thing. Right. I thought that's for people who don't want to put in the real work. Right. I dismissed anything that didn't seem like a direct business strategy. But deep down, I felt frustrated because nothing I was doing seemed to actually move the needle forward. Right. And so the first discovery that you need to realize is that it's not the mechanics. It's not the mechanics, it's your mind. You don't need more how-to, you don't need more tactics, you don't need more strategies. I've got people in our business coaching programs who have all the tactics, all the strategies, everything that they need to succeed, and yet they still don't use it, they still don't do it, right? Why is that? Why do some people hit the ground running and get the major success quickly, and some don't when they have the same information? Right? Because it's not the information, it's the implementation of that information. And the implementation is where many people get stuck in fear, stuck in self-doubt, stuck in procrastination, perfectionism, overwhelm, overthinking. All these things that end up surfacing for us is what actually holds us back from the implementation, right? Doing the things easy. How to make a post on Instagram, right? You put together a piece of content, Canva, make a quick video saying hello, you hit post. That's it. Why do people not do it consistently every day? If it's that they're trying to grow their business, right? Career decisions. If you want to make more money, it's quite simple. Figure out how to provide more value to the company you work for. What are skills that make the company more money? Guess what? You get paid more money. It's quite simple. Why don't people do it? because of all the stuff that clouds their judgment. Okay. So there's something deeper holding you back. And the belief that held me back is that you might have believed in the past as well, is that the key to success is more knowledge. But the truth is, you already have the knowledge. Your mind is the ultimate driver of results. And that's where you need to put your energy and focus in. Put everything you have into figuring out how to work with your mind so you're not working against it. Put all your time, all your energy, all your money, everything you have into this. As we think about our mind and how it works, okay, these are some of the symptoms you might be experiencing. For each one of these that I put up, I want you to put one in the chat when you've experienced one or more of these symptoms, okay? How many of you have felt overwhelmed before? Put a 1 in the chat if you have. How many of you have procrastinated in the past? How many of you have had self-doubt creep in? Perfectionism, imposter syndrome, self-sabotage, people-pleasing, avoidance, indecisiveness, overthinking. These are all symptoms that you might have experienced, and I'm with you. I've felt these before. I've done these things in the past. It's not fun. It really isn't. Especially when it becomes a pattern that you've done for so long. You've got to break the pattern. You've got to do something drastic to break the pattern. And the crazy thing is that even though we all experience these symptoms, these are actually not the problem. These are not the problem. So Javi, what is the problem? What is the actual problem? Well, I want you to think of your life like this iceberg, right? Most people are aware of their presenting problem. The presenting problem is the behavior you don't want to do. It's the habit you keep on doing that you know is not optimal for your success. This is the pattern that's creating the issues in your life, the avoidance, the indecision, the overthinking, the self-doubt, the self-sabotage, right? These are the things that people think, oh, I need more strategy. I need more accountability, right? If someone can just hold me accountable to not procrastinating, then I won't procrastinate anymore. Problem with that is that you will procrastinate when you're alone, right? We can't be there with you 24/7 at your house, right? Kicking you in the butt, like, go work, go work, go work. Especially if you're an entrepreneur. You're your own boss now. You have to kick yourself in the butt, okay? And so, especially when we're so used to other people telling us what to do, and then you go ahead and start your own business, these patterns, these habits, these behaviors that come up for you, you've got to learn how to manage them. You've got to learn how to take control so you can become unstoppable. And so this is the tip of the iceberg, right? This is just the tip of the iceberg. It doesn't take you to the root of what's actually happening here. So what's underneath the iceberg that's causing these presenting problems? Presenting problems being the symptoms, right? Overwhelm, procrastination, self-doubt, self-sabotage, etc. Well, first we have our thoughts, okay? Did you know that you have up to 60,000 thoughts per day? 60,000, that's a lot of thoughts, right? And 75% of those thoughts are negative. 75% of those 60,000 thoughts that you can have per day are negative. Crazy thing is that 95% of those thoughts are also repetitive. So you're repeatedly having negative thoughts 95% of your day. Can you see why it might be a little challenging to get anywhere when that's the case? We may need to start to learn how to rewire some of those thoughts, don't you think? And there's a reason why it's 95%. And I'll explain why that is in a second, okay? So the thoughts surface, right, and create the presenting problems. That's the first part. The second part is your beliefs, belief systems. The belief systems you have will create the BS in your life, okay? Especially if they're limiting or disempowering belief systems, they're going to create all the BS, the presenting problems in your life. 95% of the beliefs that you have right now, 95% of the beliefs you have right now were programmed in your mind between the ages of 0 to 7 years old. 0 to 7. Okay. And unless you've already done some work on this, 60% or more of the beliefs that you have limit you or hold you back in some way. 60% or more of the beliefs you have right now, unless you've done some of this work already, limit you or hold you back in some way. That's a lot of percentages. Okay. And then we've got going deeper underneath the iceberg. Okay. We've got your values and your identity. The identity is who we identify as, who we believe ourselves to be. Some of our identities are given to us, some we take on from a younger age, and some we reject. However, these identities of who we think we are can hold us back and cause negative thoughts and beliefs. These can cause negative thoughts and beliefs. Anytime you use the words I am, fill in the blank, be very intentional with what you say next. Because what you've done is you've created a label for yourself, and labels put you in a box and limit you. If you think that I am just, let me know in the chat, what profession are you in? What profession are you in? What type of business do you have? So for example, while you put that in there, if I say I am a physical therapist, which I said for a very long time, I am a physical therapist, that's who I am, I will literally not see all of the other opportunities that I have in front of me to create success, wealth, and happiness in my career that is outside of just physical therapy, because I'm a physical therapist, right? And so by you identifying as, if the first thing that you say when someone asks you, you know, what you are, what you do, I am a dietitian, that's all you think you are, that's all you're going to see, right? So whatever you think you are at any given moment, you are much more than that. You are much more than that. And this is just a career profession. There are some even less healthy identities that we give ourselves that we need to understand and navigate. Okay. Identity is one of the most powerful forces in human nature. Okay. We all have a need to be consistent with who we say we are. So we need to release the identities that are holding us back, align with our new identity of who we really are, and supercharge our life when we become version U 2.0. Belief, systems, identity, and now we've got the emotional baggage. At the very bottom, okay, of this iceberg, we've got emotional baggage. This emotional baggage can cause you to constantly self-sabotage yourself if you don't handle it, if you don't take care of it. How many of you have self-sabotaged before? How many of you have this pattern of getting excited, becoming super motivated, taking action, doing the thing, and all of a sudden something comes up for you? You feel a sense of fear, of imposter syndrome. You feel shame. You feel scared, right? All these emotions and thoughts come up, and then you think, I'm not good enough. I'm not capable. This isn't meant for me. And then you freeze. You stop taking action and you don't do it. How many of you have experienced that before in your life? And then a few years later, you look back and think, wow, man, I can't believe I wasted all this time. I should have made that decision when I could have. And a lot of people live a life of regret because of the number of times that they self-sabotage. How many of you would like to stop sabotaging your success? Yes, put a yes in the chat if you would. The emotional baggage surfaces up as a presenting problem. A lot of people try and solve the overwhelm and the procrastination and all that stuff, but it's all surface level. It's all superficial, right? So what holds us back? Like I mentioned, emotional baggage, anger, sadness, guilt, fear, anxiety, limiting beliefs and decisions, conflict between our values, false identities or labels, incongruencies and misalignment will hold you back as well. And so once I figured this out and really understood this, I was like, okay, if this is at the root of everything, I need to do whatever I have to do to figure out how to realign myself so that I can be the person that I know I'm meant to be. How many of you know that deep inside of you, there's a part of you right now that has this potential for more, that has the ability to do anything that you put your mind to? That part of you is inside of you and you know it, right? How do we tap into that? And how do we tap into that consistently so you can get consistent results in your life? It's a powerful question that you should all be asking. And there is an answer to that question. And that's what we're going to continue to cover here today. Okay? The right strategies only work when you've addressed the mental blocks holding you back. You've got to remember this. The right strategies only work when you've addressed the mental blocks holding you back. Discovery number 2, the power of your unconscious mind. Okay. How many of you, maybe recently or in the past, have thought to yourself, man, I just don't know if I trust myself to follow through on another course, another program, another certification, another thing, right, that you want to add to your plate. And so I've got to admit, right, for myself, last year, there were moments where I was like, I don't know, right? I know this is going to work. And I just don't know if I trust myself to continue to focus on these strategies and tactics and all these things and get the results that I want. Because I've tried so many things already. I tried everything, right? How many of you have felt like that before? And so what happens though, is that we are attempting to follow through consciously setting goals. Cool. I think I am back. Excellent. Can you all see me and hear me okay now? Yes? Okay, cool. Perfect. Perfect. All right, so let's go back here. All right. I checked my Wi-Fi and it looks like it was fine, so not sure what happened there. And it's all good because we're back in action, and sometimes things happen and we've got to keep moving forward. All right. Excellent. So discovery number 2, the power of your unconscious mind. Most of us try and attempt to follow through in our life by consciously setting goals, and it does not work long term. And we'll break down why that is in just a moment here. And I get it because I've been there too, right? Like I mentioned earlier, I've signed up for countless programs, bought courses, attended webinars that promise transformation. And I did get lots of value from everything that I've invested in. I've definitely gotten so much value. I'm so grateful for the people that I've worked with and the coaches that I've had. And I was always looking for an external thing to solve my internal problems. One of the things that I learned early on is that most business problems, if not all business problems, are actually personal problems in disguise. Personal problems in disguise. When I heard that, I was like, ooh, that's good. Because who ultimately is running the business? It's you. It's you as the leader of your business, whether you have team members or not, it is you. And so everything does fall back on you. And most people will go out there and invest in external things, right? They'll get better equipment for their facility. They'll get the latest tools and technology, and that's all great. However, if it's at the expense of working on you, your greatest asset, that's where things get a little challenging, right? I was actually speaking to someone a couple weeks ago who was very interested in doing this inner work and releasing all of their stuff, and basically said, I just purchased a $3,000 treadmill. I don't have the funds to invest in something like this, right? And so I was like, wow, that's a very clear example of how we're always searching for things outside of ourselves to make us feel better when we really need to focus on and invest in everything that we can to work on ourselves inside first. Right. So every time that I did that personally, I was hopeful, thinking this is it. This is the thing that will change everything. But after a few weeks, life got in the way, right? I'd lose momentum, I'd fall behind, I eventually would stop altogether. And each time I failed to finish, the disappointment hit harder and harder and harder, right? Because a lot of people think, oh, I just, swipe the credit card and all my problems go away. That's the first step. That's the first investment. We've got many other investments after that: time, energy, desire, faith that it's going to work, right? And so I used to think, oh, well, maybe I'm just not disciplined enough. Maybe I'm not cut out for this. And it became this vicious cycle. And eventually I literally stopped trusting myself, right, to follow through on anything new. And I was trying to push and nothing worked. And what I realized is that I was trying to consciously do all of this work, right? I was setting goals consciously. I was overthinking things through, and I just kept finding myself in this ongoing loop. And so what I ended up realizing after I had a breakthrough was that your unconscious mind, the mind is important to work with. More importantly, your unconscious mind is even more important, because your unconscious mind is the driver of your life. Remember how I said earlier, 95% of your thoughts are repetitive? That is because your unconscious mind is 95% of your mind. Okay. The other 5% is what you think about consciously. So, which part of the mind has the most control? The conscious mind or the unconscious mind? The unconscious mind, right? And so, when people say, think positively, affirm, look in the mirror and affirm yourself. That's great. That's a conscious act, though. And it's only working on the 5% where we have 95% beneath the surface. That is what's at the root. It's like using a pair of kid scissors to cut the weeds when we really have to go in there and pull it from the root, right? So how many of you have ever set a goal and not hit it? Put a 1 in the chat if you ever set a goal and not hit it. How many of you have ever had a desire to get rid of something, or to get rid of a habit or create a new habit, and you never did, right? You were like super excited. I'm like, ooh, I'm going to go ahead and set this goal. You set the goal, you do the things, and you fall short, flat on your face, right? Or you have this new habit you want to install, like, okay, 2025 is my year. I'm going to take the action. I'm going to do the things. I'm going to put myself out there. I'm going to make the posts. I'm going to make the connections. And you do it for 2 weeks and it dies off, right? How many of you have attempted to set and hit the same goal or create a new habit that you tried creating last year more than once? Yes? I think my hand's up there with you, right? And still nothing happens. And you know the definition of insanity, right? It's, overplayed, and we've all heard it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and expecting a different result. And yet every year we set new goals and we still don't hit them. Why does that happen? It happens because we're trying to consciously set and hit these goals when the unconscious mind is actually in charge. Okay. Goal setting is a conscious process. And what you're doing when you set a goal is you're trying to say to yourself, okay, this is the new behavior, the desired behavior that I want to shoot after. Okay. What happens then is your unconscious mind, your internal programming, 95% of what runs your life says, wait a second, that's not who I am. If I go in that direction, that means that X, Y, and Z, my belief system is challenged, right? The thoughts that you have that are programmed from a very young age derail you from that. And then your actual behavior does not match your goals. Why does this happen though? It happens because your conscious mind is the goal setter. You can consciously think about what you want. I want these goals. I'm going to go after them. However, your unconscious mind, your internal programming, is the goal getter. It is the one that aligns you with where you're going. And when your emotional baggage is let go of and released, when your identity, when you know who you really are and you feel confident in that, when you have values that are in alignment with what you want, who you are, in alignment with your goals, when you have beliefs that empower you, and when you have thoughts that align with your beliefs, your values, your identity, everything is in full alignment. You're able to move forward in the direction of your dreams with a lot less energy and effort because your unconscious mind is on board with you, because it is the goal getter. So if you ever felt resistance in doing anything, if you haven't been able to hit a certain goal or a certain target you've set for yourself, and you feel like there's a part of you that wants to do one thing and a part of you that wants the other, and you feel like this internal resistance, this internal battle, it's because your conscious mind and your unconscious mind are literally not congruent. They're not in alignment, right? And so again, most people try to work on their conscious mind to consciously do things. It doesn't work. It's deeper than that, right? So if your unconscious thoughts and your beliefs and your values and your identity don't align with your goals, no tactic, no strategy is going to work long term. It isn't. You might hit some goals and then you're going to revert back like a thermostat back to where you were before, right? What is the purpose of a thermostat? Okay, to keep you where you're at, right? To keep you at the temperature that you're typically at. You get too high, if you don't readjust your thermostat and align your values and who you are with that next level of success, your unconscious mind is going to bring you back down to what it's used to because of all the baggage that's weighing you down, right? It'll bring you back to what you're comfortable with. So we have to be able to break through that. Studies show that 80% of success is psychological, your mindset, and only 20% is mechanical. In fact, Buddha, from who knows how long ago, he said, what you think, you become. It's like he knew something. It's like he really knew the answer, right, to success in life. What you think, you become. He didn't say what you do, you become. He didn't say what you have, you become, right? He didn't say any of that. And so, yes, the slides are supposed to be up. Are the slides not up? No? Oh, this whole time? Can
I
everyone,
see them.
you see the slides? Okay, cool. That's good. Yeah, so there should be a button that says meeting and then slides potentially at the top. So as long as you guys can see them, that's a good sign. Perfect. So what you think, you become, right? It's not what you do, it's not what you have, it's what you think. So 100% of our energy should start with how are we thinking? How are we rewiring our mind, our belief systems, and working with that? Okay. A reminder, your stuff might come up during this class. Your unconscious mind wouldn't bring it to your conscious awareness unless it knew you are ready to release it now. And if your stuff does come up, that's a great sign that you should do this now. It's a great sign that your mind, your unconscious mind is like, ooh, we have a goal. I'm going to help you get there. But first, you need to let go of this stuff. You got to let go of your fear. You've got to let go of any guilt, any shame, any anger, any sadness, anything that's coming up for you. That disruption is your unconscious mind saying, hey, you've got to let this stuff go so you can get to your goals, right? And so some of this content may bring that up for you. You might even feel it a few days later, okay? That's a reminder for you that, ooh, stuff is bubbling up. I need to pay attention to this and I need to solve this now, okay? So the first part of this iceberg we discussed is your thoughts, right, in your unconscious mind. So I'm going to go ahead and list a few of the negative thoughts that may have come up in your life. And as you go through these, I want you to keep in mind, have I experienced that before? And just start to tally them. Start to see how many of these have gone through my mind in the past? Okay. So the first one is thinking of past mistakes and failures. How many of you have experienced that before? Thinking of past disappointments, thinking of how you always let yourself down, projecting worst case scenarios onto a task, thinking about how hard, challenging, time consuming, or even boring the task will be, thinking about the bad ways that you've been with money in the past, judging others who have money, judging others who are always selling something or making offers, judging others for having success. Okay, we've got 3, 6, 9 here. How many of these thought patterns do you have out of 9? And there are other thoughts, of course, but how many of these do you have? Put it in the chat. Okay. Now, which thoughts are keeping you stuck? Right? What other thoughts can you think of that keep you stuck? If you were to think about the last time you felt stuck, right? What were you thinking just before you had self-doubt, you felt overwhelmed, you were procrastinating, you fell into the trap of perfectionism, self-sabotage, etc. Right? Which thoughts are keeping you stuck? As you think about some of those, feel free to drop them in the chat now. Can you see how some of these thoughts, if not all of them, depending on how many of them you have at your unconscious level, if these are repeated on a daily basis, can you see how some of these thoughts themselves can keep you from hitting your goals? If you judge others for having success, you'll never be able to, you will never become a successful person if you have negative associations and feelings and beliefs about successful people. Think about that. You will never become something that you hate. If you judge other people who have money, you'll never have the money that you want to make, because you'll never have something that you despise. So if that's something that you want, because you know that there is a positive to having money and being successful, then you've got to work on rewiring that. Okay. Next, we have your beliefs in your unconscious mind. Okay. So like we mentioned earlier, these beliefs, 95% of the beliefs you have right now were programmed in your mind between the ages of 0 to 7. And here are some examples of beliefs. I'm not good with money. People will judge me if I have money. People will abandon me if I have money, reject me if I'm too fit. Money is the root of all evil. This person had money and they were miserable, therefore I can't have money or I'll be miserable too. I can either have money or freedom. I can either have money or love. I can either have money or X, Y, Z, but not both. It's not safe to stand out. I have to work hard to make money. If I take self-care time, I'll be selfish. For me to have money, someone else has to make a sacrifice, right? This is where you likely give away stuff for free because you feel bad because you think that you're taking away from people. And you might even have thought to yourself or have the belief of like, do I even deserve to have money? Taking breaks or vacations is lazy. So the other extreme, I have to work so hard for this money. I can't take a break. And I'll be a bad entrepreneur, parent, or spouse if I do X, Y, or Z. We've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, I think, 14 beliefs here. How many of these are coming up for you? How many of these beliefs do you have or have you had? And as you reflect on this, really think about it. If all you had was just one of these, can you see how that'll prevent you from having more of it, from attracting more of it in your life? 100%. So which beliefs are keeping you stuck? How many of these? Which beliefs are keeping you stuck? Which ones came up for you? And maybe you have different ones that weren't on there that you know are holding you back. Which one of those beliefs are holding you back? Consider that. Drop it in the chat when you've got it. And then we'll go into identity. Okay, so we've got identity next. And identity, these are some of the identities that some people have. I'm lower middle class. How many of you know someone, maybe yourself, who has labeled yourself as lower middle class? Is someone that constantly says to themselves, well, I'm lower middle class. What are they likely always going to be? Lower middle class. I'm broke. I'm poor. Yep, you keep on saying that long enough, guess what? You'll believe it, and your life will reflect it. I'm a failure. I'm dumb. I'm not smart enough. Struggling artist. How many of you know a struggling artist? I wonder why they're always struggling. Are there artists out there that are extremely wealthy? Heck, isn't art like one of the most traded or expensive items in the world? People buy art, and yeah, obviously there's speculations on what art is actually used for. However, people buy art for millions, tens of millions of dollars, right? And so people do make money as artists. Why do you have to be a struggling one? Perfectionist. That's another identity that may not serve you. People pleaser. I'm a non-finisher. I always start things, but I never finish them. That is an identity that if you have and you continue to tell yourself that story, you're going to live it. And it's just a story you're telling yourself. Why do you have to be a non-finisher? How do you know you're a non-finisher? Right? So of these identities, have 8 here. How many of you find yourself saying, I am to one of these? Drop a number in the chat once you've got it. Four, three. Okay. Are there any other identities? Are there any other identities that you feel are keeping you stuck? And so I want you to become aware and pay attention to what I am statements you are saying will hold you back. Okay. What changed for me wasn't realizing that it was realizing that it wasn't about discipline or motivation. The problem wasn't me. It was the internal beliefs and the emotional baggage that I hadn't dealt with, right? I was stuck in patterns of self-sabotage without even knowing it. And the reality was that I was stuck in my old identity of who I thought I was, right? And so what you've got to realize is that you can trust yourself to succeed when you remove the mental blocks that have sabotaged you in the past. Okay. Once I went through the rapid alignment method, I finally released the hidden blocks and built trust in myself again. I wasn't fighting uphill anymore. I started taking consistent, aligned action and began to see real progress without having to force it. So the first time I followed through and succeeded, it was like eye-opening in terms of how, because I had succeeded in the past, however, it didn't feel the same. It felt way harder. And so again, you can trust yourself to succeed when you remove these blocks that have sabotaged you in the past. And that brings us to discovery number 3, unresolved emotions and how they hold you back. Unresolved emotions and how they hold you back. The emotional baggage you have can absolutely affect your identity, the way you see yourself and your beliefs about what's possible for you in your career and your business. And by clearing these blocks, you free your mind to support your goals, allowing your business strategies to finally work as they are intended to. It's really like when you have these unresolved emotions holding you back, it's like trying to sprint while dragging a heavy chain, right? No matter how strong or determined you are, the chain will hold you back. But once you let it go, you'll be amazed at how fast you can begin to move forward. Okay. So emotional baggage all the way at the root of this. So what is emotional baggage? These are unresolved emotions where your mind is caught in the past. A really strong indicator of emotional baggage is when you overreact to any situation, right? If you have overwhelming anger, overwhelming sadness, you begin to cry out of nowhere. Okay. These are different moments where your baggage has been filled up so high that it's starting to overflow. And because it's been overflowing for so long, you overreact to any situation. And most of Western society for so long has told us, hey, when your stuff comes up, push it back down, right? Do everything you can to not let it bubble up, keep it down, keep it calm, and keep on working, keep staying focused, keep on being productive, keep on doing all these things. And it gets exhausting, right? It's like going for a hike, right, with a 30-pound vest and going for that 10-mile hike. What happens, right? Is that hike harder and heavier in the beginning or at the end? At the end, of course, right? Because the longer that you hold on to something, the heavier it becomes. And so this emotional baggage in the form of anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, and shame, even anxiety, right? The reason that this happens is from the ages of zero to 7 years old, our mind is the most suggestible and it's soaking everything up like a sponge. Everything that happened around you, things that were said, conversations, stories, TV, movies can impact your brain. And here's the thing. You all know how to release emotions. How many of you have been angry before at something that you're no longer angry about, right? Put a yes in the chat if you've experienced that. So you know how to release emotions. Here's the big problem though. From the ages of 0 to 7, your mind is unconscious, right? You're running with your unconscious mind. There are things that happened in your life that you do not remember. Before the age of 7, very, very few people have memories before the age of 7. Why is that? Because we were running with our unconscious mind. And so there are memories, there are things that happen in your life that you're not consciously aware of that you will not remember. However, your unconscious mind knows. The first time you felt anger may have been at 2 years old. Maybe your mom didn't buy you the toy you wanted and you got angry, right? And so that first imprint of anger happened at a time you don't even remember when it happened. And that anger was the first link of the chain up until today, right? Every single time you've been angry since that first moment, it's created this chain, right, of emotions, of negative emotions that are holding and pulling you back. And so you must, when you're doing this process of releasing unresolved emotions, you must get to the core, the first instance, the first time you ever felt this emotion. When you let go of that, it's like dominoes. Every other moment after that dissipates. It releases, it lets go, and you feel like a brand new person, like how you're supposed to feel, right? Energized and excited and ready to take on the day. Okay. And so that's what happens. That's how this process works. You have to get to the deepest root of it when it first began for it to be really effective. Okay. So the challenge with this baggage in different areas of our life is this. Baggage in one area of your life can cause issues and challenges in other areas, right? A lot of people say, oh, I try not to take my work home with me, right? Especially in this age when many of us work from home, it's really hard to do that, right? It's really challenging to not take your work home with you. And so how many of you in a relationship, right, you had a bad day at work, whether it was at your job or in your business, and you brought that back home and you talked to your friends about it. You talked to your significant other about it. You talked to your kids about it. You talked to your dog about it, right? You are now bringing that energy home with you, and it's affecting everyone and everything in your life. How many of you have been so tired after a long day of work, you felt burnt out, that all you wanted to do was go to sleep and sleep it out? You were so tired that the next day you didn't wake up when you were supposed to work on yourself, to take care of your physical health, right? Because baggage in one area can affect the others. Here's the cool thing though. When you release baggage in one area, guess what happens? It positively affects every other area of your life. Is it going to have the same major supercharged drastic effects as that one area you focus on? Maybe, right? Obviously, the area you focus on is going to have the most beneficial effects. Okay. However, it can improve it. And so the ripple effect of baggage, like I mentioned, baggage in one area of life can create imbalance in others. When one spoke of the wheel of life is broken, the journey becomes real bumpy. And so to achieve career or financial goals, other areas, health, relationships, your mindset must also be addressed here. Okay. Studies show that 75% of high performing professionals experience burnout due to imbalance, which means we need to figure out, how do we balance our wheel? How do we release the baggage, right? So we can begin to work on all the other areas of our life as well. So what is that one area of your life that, you know, if things were cleared up, if you were booming in your business, making, you know, more money than you ever have, you enjoyed what you did, it gave you energy, right? Would that positively affect the other areas of your life? Absolutely, right? So what's that one area for you? Okay. Here's Brenda Leese. She says, before the breakthrough session, I was stuck in fear and reactive mode. It would take me days to shift my mindset. After the session, I had the tools to transform fear into action in a matter of minutes. The session didn't just change my career, it improved every area of my life. My relationship with my 14-year-old daughter is now the best it's ever been, and I don't think she'd trust me like she does now if I hadn't done this. Pretty amazing, right? And so the question then is, who does this actually work for? Well, this works for ambitious entrepreneurs who are driven to succeed, but struggle to balance business with family time and personal growth. This is for the stressed out decision maker, okay? The person who is overwhelmed by choices affecting both mental well-being and family connections. This is for the overworked business owner who is hustling hard, sacrificing health, relationships, and spiritual well-being for business success. This is for the burnt out achiever, okay, who is successful but emotionally drained, looking to maintain balance between their business, their health, and meaningful relationships. This is for the visionary leaders, okay, the visionary leaders in the house who are seeking clarity to build a business that's aligned with their core values, their spiritual beliefs, and their life's purpose. And this is for goal-oriented professionals who are wanting consistent momentum while nurturing their personal development, their faith, and their connections with loved ones. Okay, this is for you. Here are some of the most common myths that we hear out there. Okay. Myth number one is, you might think that mindset work is just fluff and won't move the needle in your business. If you're here right now, I think you know that that's not the case. The reality is that business strategies won't work if your mindset is blocking you. By releasing fear, self-doubt, and limiting beliefs, you unlock your ability to make faster decisions, to take bold action, and finally see results from the strategies that you already know. How many of you get that? Yes? Common myth number two, you might think releasing mental blocks will take years of therapy. That's what I love about this, that breakthroughs can actually happen in a matter of hours when you use the right method, like the rapid alignment method, okay, which targets your unconscious mind directly. Common myth number three, you might believe you don't have time to work on mindset. And the reality is that if you're constantly overwhelmed and feeling stuck, it's actually costing you way more time than you realize it. Makes sense, right? If you procrastinate, you're literally wasting time, right? Literally wasting time because of all that stuff that you have that you need to let go of. So freeing up your mind will actually save you hours of indecision and wasted effort. How many of you have been not just wasting hours, but wasting weeks, months, if not years, procrastinating on something that you know you should have done a year ago in some area of your life, right? How many of you have had that experience? Man, I should have done this a year ago. Literally 365 days of procrastinating, 100%. How many of you are procrastinating on doing something that you know you should have done 2 weeks ago that could drastically change your life today? You wasted 2 weeks, right? The fact of the matter is that you don't have the ability to waste any more time. You have to take action. You have to figure this out, okay? So the question then becomes, how do we create lasting transformation? I'm going to go over this pretty quick here, okay? You've probably tried following endless how-to guides and strategies to overcomplicate things, investing in courses and programs that didn't deliver long-lasting results, attended motivational seminars that left you inspired but not transformed, hustling harder, thinking that working more will solve the problem, relying on surface-level tactics that fail to address the deeper root causes, ignoring the imbalance in other areas of your life, hoping it won't impact your success, pushing through sheer willpower, only to burn out and feel stuck again. Here's the deal. Traditional methods don't work because they focus on isolated aspects of mindset or mental health, often treating the symptoms rather than the root causes that are found in the unconscious mind. And here's what we've learned, okay? All learning, all behavior, all change is unconscious. All learning, all behavior, all change is unconscious. And so if that's true, then the reality is that traditional methods that don't focus on the unconscious mind don't work for long-lasting, quick change, okay? Some other traditional methods you may have tried, and I've tried almost all of these, if not all. Talk therapy focuses on exploring the past. Progress can be slow with little focus on actionable change or future-oriented solutions. I did talk therapy for 2.5 years. I will say it definitely helped me to get more comfortable with talking about my emotions. However, I felt like I was drowning in my emotions and there was no clear way of solving and moving forward, right? Self-help books, generic advice may not resonate or address unique challenges, leading to a lack of actual implementation. I love reading, right? It's been very few times where a book has changed my life forever, okay? Motivational seminars provides a temporary energy boost, but fails to create lasting transformation, leaving attendees back where they started. How many of you have been to a motivational seminar? You felt super motivated, high energy for about a week. And then it was gone. You're like, I guess I got to go back. I got to go back to another motivational seminar, right? And time after time, it leaves you wanting more. Meditation apps treats the symptoms of stress, but doesn't address the deeper subconscious beliefs or the root causes. Then we've got positive thinking techniques, encourages surface level positivity with affirmations without rewiring deeper limiting beliefs. Life coaching without reprogramming, focus now on external actions, right? Hey, this is what we have to do to make your life better. However, it doesn't address the internal blocks, leading to limited or temporary results. So it's kind of like the opposite of talk therapy. One focuses on your problems, one focuses on the future, but there's still the internal blocks that are holding us back. Hustle culture, we know that leads to burnout, and gratitude journaling shifts perspectives, right? It does feel good in the moment to get stuff out that's in your head, and it feels good. And you go back the next day, and you find yourself continuing to write down the same things over and over and over and over again. So you're putting it on paper, but it's still in your head, right? You haven't really released it long term. May feel good for a few weeks, but then it comes back, okay? So all these methods, like I mentioned, focus on treating symptoms rather than root causes, which are found in the unconscious mind. Okay? So the question again is, how do we create lasting transformation? How many of you would like to create transformation that lasts? Yes? We do that by rewiring your mind to help you unlock your potential and achieve consistent growth. How do we do that? Through the rapid alignment method. Okay, release, align, move. It's not another mindset hack or a lengthy therapy process. It's a proven, time-efficient process that quickly releases fear, self-doubt, and any limiting beliefs by working directly with your unconscious mind. If you followed this method, can you see how you could finally break free and achieve that next level of success? Yes? Can you see how you could finally break free and achieve your next level of success? Excellent. So here's what we've covered today. Discovery number one, we talked about how it's not the mechanics, it's your mind. We've discussed the power of your unconscious mind, and we've dove into the effect of unresolved emotions and how to fast track your progress by releasing those. So the next question becomes, how do you become unstoppable now? The first thing that you need are these three beliefs. These three beliefs are the starter beliefs that you need that are required for change. You guys ready? Number one is I can do this. Go ahead and put I can in the chat. I can do this. That is the first belief. The second belief is I must do this. This, when it becomes a must, right? Not a should, it becomes a must. You must do this. You are committed to change, to make your life better. And I will do this. It's not maybe, yes, one day. No, I will do this. I will make this happen. That is the third belief required for change. The next question then becomes, do you have the courage to do it? Do you have the courage to self-reflect, to go deep, to finally figure out what is at the root of all of this so I can break through and get to what I meant to have? Do you have the courage? Put a yes in the chat if you do. Okay. So at this point, if you're here right now, I want to ask you a question. May I take a few minutes to share an opportunity to help you go even deeper? Yes? Excellent. So rewire your mind. It is time to rewire your mind to unlock your potential and achieve consistent growth. So what is rewire your mind? What does that look like? We are hosting the Rewire Your Mind workshop. Okay, this is a workshop where you will discover the rapid alignment method so you can begin to work with your unconscious mind and finally get the results that you've been waiting for. What is the goal for you? At this workshop, you're going to leave with a deep understanding of your unconscious mind, how to work with it for maximum results, get access to quick and easy tools that you can use daily to supercharge your business and your life. Okay, that's what this workshop is about. When you join this workshop, here's what's really neat. You're actually going to get access to the evergreen workshop that we've hosted already in the past that you can start crushing through right away. How many of you know that the first time you go through information, it's like you get it. And the second time you go through it, you're like, oh my goodness, now I really get it. Now I really understand the importance of this. It drives it into the grooves of your brain even deeper. And when you have a better understanding, you can finally get clarity and move forward, right? And you can move forward now. And so what we're going to cover, session one, when you join the workshop, is the invisible block, okay? Day one, we're going to uncover the hidden blocks that are quietly sabotaging your success and keeping you stuck in the same frustrating patterns. Session number two, we're going to help you to unlock your potential. You're going to understand and walk away with the confidence and the tools to break free from any limiting beliefs, to help you break free from self-doubt and finally take the bold action that you know you can take. Okay. Session number 3, we're going to go over how to master your mind and master your emotions. Okay. Session number 3, we're going to show you how to break free from limiting mental and emotional patterns and really begin to supercharge you to feel like you have what it takes to get to the next level. Okay. Session number 4, how many of you would like to figure out how to attract more money into your life? Well, there is this myth about money. There's actually several myths about money that can drastically hold you back. We covered a few of them today, actually. And a lot of that stems from how we think and what we believe about what money actually is that can hold us back and keep us from getting more of it. And so in session number 4, we're actually going to really flip things on its head, right? We're going to flip the coin and we're going to show you exactly what money is so that you can attract more into your life. How many of you know that if you don't know about something, if you don't know what something really is, it's really hard to understand and comprehend it. And it's really hard to get more of something that you don't really get. Make sense? So session number 4, we're going to uncover the money myth so you can attract more money into your life, more energy into your life. Okay. Session number 5 is all about taking control now. Okay. You're going to discover the one question that has the power to transform your life and success. It really is that simple. When you go through this decision-making framework and you've released the stuff, you've rewired your limiting beliefs and created new empowering beliefs, you can then begin to take control of your life by asking yourself this one simple question that if you use daily will keep you moving closer in the direction of your dreams. Okay. So that's session number 5. And so what you're going to get at this workshop, you're going to get access to, yes, the evergreen and the live Rewire Your Mind for Success workshop. You're going to get access to the rapid alignment method framework. We're going to break it down for you step by step. You're going to be able to identify your hidden blocks and go through an exercise to figure out what those are for you. You're going to also get a training on how to master your internal beliefs and begin to rewire how you see the world and see yourself to get the results that you want. You're going to get a wheel of life assessment so you can get clarity on where exactly it is that you need to focus on in order to decide what area of your life is going to be the one that when you supercharge makes everything else a lot easier and more effortless. You're going to have an entire blueprint on how to make sure that you are creating goals that you are in alignment with so you can actually get them. You're going to get a unstoppable confidence meditation that is going to, you're going to have access to every single day. And when you listen to that meditation, you're going to begin to feel this surge of confidence that allows you to do anything that you set your mind to. You're going to get access to that as well. And of course, a private support and accountability group to go on this journey together with. Okay. So all of that's a retail value of $1,676. Okay. In addition to all of that, you're going to get bonus number 1 is the Rewire Your Mind workbook exercises. Okay. These are exercises to help you get the results in the event with daily action tasks, step-by-step fill in the blanks, templates, resources, and the clarity to get it done. That's bonus number 1, retail value $97. Bonus number 2, you're going to get the prosperity and abundance audio meditation. Okay. This audio meditation is going to help you to align your unconscious for success. It's going to help you to attract and rewire your mind to attract opportunities in your life effortlessly. When you listen to this daily, you'll have lifetime access to it, so you can listen to it daily and you'll be able to reprogram your mind for prosperity and abundance. How many of you would like to have more abundance in your life? Go ahead and put abundance in the chat if you would. Okay, abundance. So you're going to get that. Bonus number 3 is our anxiety release meditation. Okay. If you ever have anxiety, if you ever have stress about something happening in the future, there is a process to reduce and eliminate that. Okay. And so we're going to give you access to this to quickly reduce stress, shift into a calm, centered, focused state. It's going to be available whenever you need it. And you are going to have lifetime access to this as well. At the Rewire Your Mind workshop, we're going to give you access to this anxiety release meditation so you feel at peace. Okay. And last but not least, your fast action bonus. This is VIP access. Okay. So you're going to get backstage passes after the main training. We're going to stay with you for an extra half hour to actually work with you You're going to be able to ask us deeper dive questions on the different topics, and the trainings will help you to experience even further breakthroughs. You'll have private meditation sessions that we take you through, even additional breathwork exercises that you can take with you and use on a daily basis so that you can have a clear mind and make decisions with confidence. Okay. So you're going to get all of this with a retail value of $2,311. The normal price for all of this is $297. And because you're here today and you're watching this training, you're here, you're taking action, today it's only going to be $37 for this workshop. $37, you get lifetime access plus the VIP access as well. Okay. If this is something that you want to do now, go to mindhaven.pro/event-special, and you'll be able to get access to this workshop here. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put that link in the chat. You could also put that in your URL, and we'll get you that link shortly. Okay, so what happens next? Once you go to that page, you'll be able to go to that page. You'll see everything that you're going to get, what's included, all the information that you need. Like I mentioned, you'll get instant access to these trainings, and you'll also be able to attend our next live workshop as well. Okay, you'll get to attend our next live workshop as well. Once you register for that, you're going to join as a VIP ticket holder, and you'll have your steps there on what to do next to get access to everything that you need. So again, as soon as you register, you'll have access to start going through the content now, and you'll definitely pick up on different things when you go through it live. And because you have VIP access, you'll be able to come back to the VIP backstage and ask your personal questions for us to help you personally have breakthroughs in your life. Once you're in, you'll introduce yourself in the community. Let us know exactly what you want to get out of it. What's your number one goal? What's the number one breakthrough that you're looking for, so we can help you get it. Okay. When you attend this workshop, here's what you're going to be able to do. Number one, you're going to be able to break free from old patterns. You're going to be able to stay focused and motivated, make faster, clear decisions, take bold, confident action, achieve consistent business growth. You're going to create a business and life you love because you're in alignment with who you are, and you're not doing things just because other people are doing it. You're doing it for you. You'll also be able to replace fear and self-doubt with confidence, with clarity. You'll be able to shift overwhelm and indecision with focused, aligned action. You'll be able to get rid of emotional baggage and replace that with mental freedom and lightness. You'll be able to replace self-sabotage with consistent progress and success, burnout with balanced growth and renewed energy, and stuck patterns with momentum and long-term motivation. So the question then becomes, why now? Why should you do this now? The early bird special is $37, and it's for a limited time only. The price will go up. You really want to think about, right? Well, $37 is kind of the price of like a large pizza now, maybe 2 large pizzas, coffee a day, if you are into that, right? And so really think about, how much is being stuck costing you? How much has being stuck costed you? Probably a lot more than $37. It might be time to break through that, don't you think? Every day you wait, the longer you stay in your old ways, the longer you maintain a habit. Guess what? Is it easier or harder to break? Harder. So you have to make a decision to break that pattern so that a new pattern can emerge. And when's the best time to break that pattern? Probably now, right? And you want to get instant access now so you can save time. You can go through the trainings even faster and get more out of the live sessions. The bonuses and replays are available for today only. And again, it's only $37. So you can go ahead and start today. This is everything you're going to get. And that is a wrap. So what questions do you have?